Hey guys, welcome back to another David's Outdoors video. I'm kind of starting this vlog at an odd time as snow event number 2 actually happened, and this is my second time going out, and I just almost finished every driveway I had. So I just want to bring you guys along. We're going to clean the shop lot with the HLA 2500. Then we're going to head down the road a little bit, and I believe we have five or six more driveways that we're just going to back drag down, and then we're going to use the Norman inverted to basically blow the snow away. So I'm going to strap you guys up, and I apologize for not picking this up early. It was just kind of a weird snowfall. We had an initial snowfall that everyone was saying it was going to be like a foot, ended up only being about 2 inches, and then of course I went out and did it, and then we got more snow that wasn't on the radar. So I'm just cleaning everything up now, and it is December 28th now, so it's just a little after midnight. I wanted to wait till cars and stuff were off the road so that I can kind of get in and out on my driveways in a peaceful setting. So I'll put you up on, don't know if it's going to be the front windshield or the back windshield, but either way, the next shot you'll see is we're going to clean up this shop parking lot quick like. All right, let's get at her. So this last snowfall, we don't have much on the shop lot, as you can see right now. I just want to get stuff off so that it doesn't necessarily keep melting and freezing and then, you know, turning into an ice rink. So just gonna clear it off. Doesn't take very long to do anyways. And as you know, since we're getting to the end of the night anyway, it's not really a big deal. So we're using John Deere 4052R Snow Cab Edition. So all it has is, you know, some stuff to make it easier to remove snow, like the beacon light I'm sure you guys can see in the background, as well as, sorry, I just got kind of close to my truck. I lost my train of thought. So anyway, yeah, so we're using my new HLA 2500 Snowpusher, and I'm actually pretty happy with this thing. It's an 8 foot or a 7 foot, so 84-inch Snowpusher, and it's, you know, honestly, I don't think that I would go any lower on my 4052. This thing's got a lot of pushing power. Like I said, I'm sure I'm gonna get some huff in the comments for this not being a whole lot of snow, but we did get about 2.5 inches. That obviously you can see the pile over there was made at the beginning of the storm. So the storm, obviously with it being Christmas and stuff, it just came so out of the blue. All my Christmas plans got messed up. I ended up staying home when my wife went and you know, and saw her family. So luckily my family came up here and had a good Christmas with them. That kind of helped. But we went out once Christmas night, went back out and did a few houses, more just plow berms not Christmas night, but January 26th. And then we got this snowstorm, which was only supposed to be a dusting, which ended up getting a little bit more than a dusting, just enough for me to hit my 1/2-inch trigger. So I would call this, I guess this is our 3rd time out for the year, but I don't know if I'd really call it the 3rd snow event, since it's just kind of still wrapped in with the Christmas storm. So anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of finish this, and then we've got 5 more houses that need to get that I need to get done. And all I've been doing is, it's more of a pain to use the Norman inverted on these, so I've just been kind of going back dragging with my HLA and then turning around and either piling it up or blowing it, depending on which way I see is a better option. So pretty easy, but still some fun content for you guys to watch, especially since there's not a whole lot of videos on this HLA 2500, especially on any John Deere model. So this is a great, you know, if you're coming to this video because you want to see how this HLA works, I I have a John Deere 4052R. You know, if you have a 4066, I definitely would not go anything lower than this 7-foot. I would say this 7-footer has enough power to where it pushes and gets stuff done, but it's also not too big, or I guess too small. I don't know. Just the perfect size, I think, for this stuff. And obviously most guys aren't going to be doing this giant, you know, these giant commercial lots that I'm doing, and so I would highly recommend it, especially if you can pair it with a nice blower on the back, whether that be an agriculture blower or like an inverted like I've got. It's a phenomenal pusher. It's built so well. Gosh, I should just turn this thing into an HLA review, but as you can see, we're getting into a little bit more snow here. Got a big puddle that I don't really want to push through there, but mine has the, you know, I opted for the back drag edge as well as the replaceable cutting edge, since I, you know, when I use it on houses, I basically back drag everything down and then I either push it or use the Norman. So I would go through that other, through the what is it, the set cutting edge a little quicker than I really want to, but all in all, it's a phenomenal blower, or a phenomenal snow pusher. I think this I might, I don't really want to mess with this. We'll go around one more time around this here if I can. Kind of going to be going through a little bit, of course, but yeah, I have the rubber cutting edge, so it doesn't necessarily scrape or cut as well as I would really like it to, but it's definitely enough to where it creates kind of more of a suction on the ground, more than anything. And especially like the surface we're on right now, I don't know if it looks familiar from my grading videos, but this is all gravel here, so I'm not necessarily putting it in float mode. If I do that, my tractor kind of takes away my steering power, so I'm just kind of barely making sure that cutting edge is on the surface, and I'm pushing from that. So all we're gonna do is kind of keep pounding away at this. Like I said, it's not a really, you can see it out there, it's really not a huge lot, but part of the deal of me being here is I'm doing the snow, and I'm fine with that because it allows me to make sure it's done right. So here we're getting into a little bit more snow up against these shop doors, not much, but see, I kind of have to feather it to make sure that the pusher doesn't take over my ability to steer. So like now we got to bring it up, but it doesn't do too bad. You kind of learn very quickly how to control it. So if anyone's in the market, like I said, if you've got a 4052 or a 4066, I would highly recommend this. It's a phenomenal snow pusher. It's built super tough. Everything on it is, you have the ability to replace it, whether that be the cutting edge, whether that be the skid shoes, or like I said, if you opt for getting a replaceable cutting edge as well for the back drag, everything on it is replaceable, very easy, and it's just built extremely well. I believe these HLA units come out of Canada, and obviously Canada sees its fair share of snow, and they know what they're building. That's, I guess, all I'm really going to say, considering I run Canadian snow pusher on the front and Canadian snow blower on the back. It's definitely better than anything you could really find here in the US. Hate to say it, but I'm going to see if I can push this up a little bit more. Throw it 4-wheel. Trying to create as much space as possible over here so that when it does come time for more snow, we've got some extra room. There we go. That's good enough. this is about the only commercial lot that I actually do, and like I said, I only do it because, as you can see, that's my truck, and this is where all my, I run my business. But this is a phenomenal little pusher. I only paid like, I believe, $3,500 for it, and I never actually thought that I would use it on, for doing my residential stuff, but it's worked great in these minimal snow situations. It just has a heck of a lot more or better scrape than my snowblower has, and it's got its own down pressure and stuff. But sorry, just backing up. But the nice part about the unit is, it saves me from having to turn around, and especially in this small snow stuff, my snowblower struggles to stay full, which AK means it's not really throwing the little stuff very far. And so this, I just drag everything down, so I kind of create a pile, as you'll see here in these, once we're doing these residential driveways, but I just pull it all back in a pile, and then it's enough to where I can just kind of drive alongside their yard and blow it, less than a foot away. So it's also some very wet stuff. It's like 30 some degrees even right now, so it's not really a nice powder that'll go through that auger and take some momentum. It just kind of flops out the edge. So we're just gonna finish up this, and we'll put that right there. We go. Let's see if there's any line we can do over there. I'd say this here all looks pretty well done. Back here again, I don't really want to go through this stuff here. I can still get to my equipment and whatnot. I think I might, actually we'll push some over on that lot there, just to save myself a little bit of hassle down the road if this freezes or whatnot. So I guess, yeah, this is kind of more turning into an HLA review video, but I would highly recommend it. I am very happy with this Snowpusher. It's one of those things where it doesn't have, look at that, see, it accumulates, it rolls nicely. But it's one of those things where it's just kind of a nice chunk of steel that'll never break. There's no shear bolts, there's no, the only limiting factor of it is really the tractor itself, which, like I said, I have not had any problems. I was a little bit worried that the 7-foot option for the 84-inch would be maybe a little bit too big for this tractor, but I have not found that to be the problem. I actually think this thing's got plenty of power. I wouldn't go more than the 7-foot frame, but if you're looking for one and you've got a 52 or a 66, I would be more than happy to sway you towards this model. So we got just a couple more passes here to do, then we'll go and finish what I actually get paid to do. So let me take a swipe a little closer here. This is the back. This is the back end of my shop, if anybody's wondering. So that's why it's not technically our jurisdiction, I guess, in what I'm allowed to move, but the guy who's supposed to move this snow has not even come and touch it. I'm not really gonna. I don't really want to be bothered by it in the spring when it's bad. So it's better to just get it away from from the shop, and the gravel for the most part is frozen, so I'm not really worried about that. There's a few spots that it's maybe not great, but you know, packing this stuff down, especially the squeegee, like, you know, with that rubber edge, it should kind of almost add a nice little ice layer. So it's kind of what you want with gravel. It's not really frozen yet. Strip here, I think, should be enough to not bother us on our side of the lots. Yeah, the storage units on the left are not ours. We have everything on the right, but again, I don't really want to deal with a whole bunch of runoff in the spring if they're not going to take care of the stuff next to our building. So instead, I'll just clear it myself. It's fun. It's like therapy. You know, one of the best things about my job is being a 22-year-old kid and living out my dreams. I always used to want to farm, and obviously it's almost impossible to get into that, and so the only other way that I'm able to make use and get a tractor and all this fun equipment and toys is by doing this. So I'm pretty happy. Any chance that I can get this tractor and use it is pretty fun for me, so I don't really mind doing all this extra work. See if I can't back in this little loading dock and then 4 wheels, so it should be alright. Throw it down and range real quick. Oh. Okay. There we go. Yeah, you can see even, I mean, I was just on an icy loading dock going uphill. I'm in A range with 4-wheel drive on, but this tractor had no problem doing that, so. Went maybe a little lower than I should have there. Take it back out of A. Go back into C. I'm not too worried about busting this transmission in this little bit of snow. Go. We will call this as clean as it needs to be for right now. Like I said, it's not beautiful, but I don't really want to deal with all the melting over at our shop, so. Gotta fill that low spot in too. I'm not thrilled about that. Here, dump that in the pile, and then we're done. Alrighty. Just like that, we're on to what we get paid to do. Let's go hit these driveways, and I'll catch back with you when we're at the first driveway.